Okay, hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another episode on Your Voice, Your Impact. And today is special because, first of all, you can see we started about 15 minutes behind schedule. Like, not did I say behind schedule? No, no, no. The timing changed today because we're supposed to have this at 1 p.m. West African time, 4 p.m. GST, but this is 6:15 and that's 3:15 p.m. West African time. But again, like if you've been following this series, you would know that myself and Grace, we really do not want to succumb, to the idea of skipping. And so rather than skip, we would rather probably change the timing based on our schedule. And today being Mondays, actually for me, Mondays are quite busy. And even your voice, your impact is part of my Monday, activities. But today, another meeting was scheduled at the same time. And so I felt, you know what, let me just shift because I can be flexible with this, but that's not just me and I'm not in charge. So I couldn't influence the timing of that other meeting. And so that's why we changed the timing here today. So welcome again, as is our usual. So we didn't even do posters and all of those things, but again, at the end of the day, what we're doing here today is just having conversation. I've tagged this one coaching conversations because again, we're both coaches, and we're just going to be talking about things that that we've observed that are going on, and that will just feel, what people should want to bring you awareness to those topics, to those matters. And one of such matters is seeking validation. And literally, I saw a post by one of my community members today on LinkedIn talking about, she was specifically referring to creators. That's people who create content creators. Like, they should be aware of the kind of validation that they seek. And I think that was really powerful. I didn't complete. I'll have to go and read that message. But it's interesting to know that when we got on this, we got talking before we turned on the camera to talk about, this, and this is what's coming up. It means that this is something that is pressing in the society, and that's why people are doing things that, like, sometimes it's like, are you thinking at all? Just because you want the validation of people, you want the validation of your audience, you want the validation of your spouse, you want validate external validation. Because of that, you begin to act sometimes feeling like abnormally. So we'll talk about that in a bit. But let's go back to our usual to introduce ourselves. This is the energetic EJ. I am a podcaster, a coach, and an event host. And it's a pleasure to be here. Yeah, so that's me. This season, for some reason, I really do not feel any push whatsoever to I'm growing inwards, and I'm loving it. It's more like, when I thought of Black Friday, Cyber Monday, all those things, I like, EJ, you don't even put out anything. But I do not feel the pressure to do that. So but again, if you're thinking of starting your podcast, I'm somebody you can talk to. If you're looking for a coach to work with on your goals, I'm somebody you can talk to. And I would pass the mic over to my co-host Grace. So amazing. How are you?
I am fine. Hello, the energetic EG. I like the way I say that thing. All right, my usual. I love to always talk about my weekend, how it went. My weekend was
Absolutely.
amazing. I was a speaker at a conference this weekend, and again, working with women is always my thing. I love it because I feel that we're a special bunch, right? So
Special breed.
yeah, every time I think of empower, every time I see an empowered woman, a woman that knows what she's about, it gives me joy because I know she's going to expand on that. So I am a life and personal development coach. I'm also a cognitive behavioral therapist, and I am the founder of an NGO called Friends to Lean on Global Foundation, an NGO that is centered on educating people about mental and emotional wellness. And I am super, super happy to be here and talking about external validation. I remember somebody reaching out to me, came to my inbox to tell me that, wait, sure you will not go and buy likes or buy followers. No, buy likes and comments or something. That I mean, that was about 2, 3 years ago. The person said, Grace used to drop some very strong stuff now. Buy followers and likes and everything so that it will. And now ask the person that, okay, if I buy followers, if I
Mm.
buy likes, because it was very funny, likes that not even followers, because I think it was on Facebook. So I had followers, I had many friends, right? But the person was trying to let me engage make my this thing very engaging in such a way. Now that's a very good advice because people like to relate to the crowd, try to
Yeah.
relate to
When
things
there are
that
many
many
people there, they also want
people
to
are
go and add their own.
thank you. So where the person was coming from, I got the message. However, it is very
How?
important. It is very, very important for me so that I will know how much what I am about. So my goal number one is to put the message out there. Secondly, to ensure that even if it is one person that gets it, they can as well go and propagate it to many others. Because, and this is why, if my goal is for the number of likes, I would stop posting because if I'm feeding off the number of likes, I'm feeding off the number of comments, I won't post now because if I come and I don't see likes, I'll be sad.
You'll be
But I
discouraged.
put the message and the goal top on the list that even though, and the interesting thing I now found out is because of what we are about. I mean, we're not entertainers that we want you to come and dance and feel good. We are what we offer is very, very intangible. It's not something that you want to hold in your hands. It's something that nourishes your soul, your spirit, mind, and your body eventually.
Hmm.
So it's not for everybody, if I must say. It's not for
Yeah.
everybody. However, for people that are very intentional and deliberate. And we have to get out of this crowd mentality where everybody they go, now where plenty. That thing is good, oh, the
Trend,
crowd is good.
trend,
You
trend,
know,
trend. What's trending?
Friends
What's
and all those
trending?
things.
Viral.
Beautiful.
What's going
Thank
viral?
you. So after it goes viral, what next? After it goes viral, after you become popular, after you become what next? Did they eventually get the message? So that's why I'm saying this so that people that are very, very particular about the number of likes, the number of followers, and the people that and the comments engaging. So some people will not even want to put a particular content, but because they know that controversy can get
Yes,
people to
sales.
talk, they become
Yes,
very
yes,
controversial, which is not
yes.
really what they're about. So they become very controversial
But
and and all of
the
that.
thing
So
is the danger in that part you just talked about is contradicting their own souls,
absolutely.
contradicting their own person, and that's more hurtful because again you would think it's just about content, but it begins to affect every other area of your life because then you begin that's when you are unable to say no, you're unable to
Mm,
build healthy boundaries because you want again it begins it's I'm sorry, I'm just going to have to bring it back to Christian talk, right? It's like when the Bible illustrated that if you cast out one demon out of a person and you
yeah,
don't like watch that space, if by the time the demon comes back, to come back with full
a
force with
million
other
fold.
demons.
Yeah,
Exactly. And that's how this, negative mindset, will you call it, or mindset that don't serve us. That's how they work. They don't work alone. They don't work
yeah,
alone. So when you start with just seeking validation, it's morph into people pleasing. Then it morph
yeah,
into not loving yourself, or just waiting for others to love you. It starts it morph into you not being a person of it, like you not even standing, you not even trusting your own word,
yes,
right? Because again,
yes,
you say you do this thing, but you're the one that will still not do it. So every time you now start to set a goal, your mind will come and tell you, did that negative part of the mind will come and tell you, "Oh, yeah, is it not you? Shebi that's how you say, shebi that's how you say you did last week. Did you do it?" And then gently, little by little, you begin to lose steam and then you default back to, the thing you're trying to walk your way out of. And that's why it is important we pay attention to these things, as little as they are. And see, validation is real. Like, seeking external validation is a real struggle for a lot of people, and social media did not even make it any easier. Where the metrics, even the metrics for success,
The
is
number of
something else.
followers
Is something else.
is interesting. So for me, to chip in something that I noticed, it is the dopamine. So coming from the angle of science now, it's almost like smoking. It's
Mm,
almost like taking alcohol. It's almost like the immediate high. And it makes sense because I think we are all guilty in the sense that
true,
you are on
true.
social media to follow up with what's interesting per time. And again, I'll use what our industry, not our industry is knowledge based. Our industry is very intangible. It's not
Yeah,
it's not like music that you're vibing to and you're like
yeah.
dancing, or one model that,
Mm,
when you look at all the things that people really like, stories, I'm about stories. People, you never hear say that woman. When you,
that's
I saw something. What's his name? Okocha. I saw a video, I mean a post by a blogger
hmm.
celebrating 25 years of their marriage. And I took that post and compared the number of comments on the post with another comment of
Another
a
post of
relationship that
that
didn't
is
work and
broken.
all of that. And no room for comparison because I was like, oh more, so it makes sense because like the brain works is negatively biased
Yeah,
in a way. So
understand.
all the but that's one with the crowd, how people like to engage in controversy, how people like to engage. The other one is things that will give us that immediate high. Now, as we're talking about these things now, somebody might cross, except intentional people, and that's why be very careful when the crowd don dey too plenty and na that one you too like. You want to stop and ask yourself that why is it that it's always this one I like? And then something that is feeding into you, that is helping you discover the person that you really are.
Hmm.
And you're not seeing 1 million likes, 200,000 likes, and all of those things. It's another thing for you to ask yourself that, do you like this? This weekend, when I was talking about feeds, somebody said that she doesn't like being on social media and all that. And I said that I have been able to control my feed. The things that I see are things that I
See,
really like. So I
yeah,
now found that I now told myself that, every time I see my feed, like things coming, I'll be like, oh shit. Even these people don't know saying personal development, growth mindset, things that would help me become a better version of myself that I am
that's what they
seeing.
bring to you.
So this is a tip. If you want to know the things that you really are interested in, pay attention to your feeds. It's so easy. Computer has made it so easy for you to see what is always reoccurring. Before you know, I'm seeing Jim Rohns, I'm seeing Tony Robbins, I'm seeing one woman working out, I'm seeing one man working out, I'm seeing a coach talking, I'm seeing a conference going. I'm just seeing all those things, and I'm like, yeah, the things that I like are the things that are coming to me, and I'm loving it. Yeah, so it is very important we define what we are about so that we
Hmm.
will not be moved by the number of likes. It's good. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Who don't like better thing? And who don't like
Yeah,
validation? Actually, we all do. But it should
we
not be the
actually need it too.
primary goal. It shouldn't be
Yeah.
the primary goal because you'll be disappointed.
Absolutely, absolutely. Again, I mean, like you said about the socials and how the algorithm works, it's interesting. It's even interesting how technology is just crazy right now. As we are talking right now, if you talk about something, the next thing you're looking at your phone and you're seeing the exact same thing you just mentioned. And you're like, why
Mind
are these
witchcraft.
people listening? They're literally
They are
listening.
listening.
Honestly, they're literally listening to everything you're saying. So again, for me, for example, I love to laugh a lot. And I think that's how I chill, really. I love
Okay.
anything comedy. So I get all those comedy skits a lot. on my feeds, right? Outside of like, the preachings, the word, the worship, the next thing will be comedy for me, right? Again, like you said, you have to be very intentional about, what you're feeding yourself with, and then you know be aware, like you said earlier when you said that sometimes these things that we begin to react to is actually exposing ourselves to us. And
Yeah.
it's now left for us to be aware, at least be
Mm.
aware. And that's the beauty of mindfulness. Do you understand?
Yeah.
The mindfulness there is that, so every time I do this thing, my body they do me gish gish. But every time I see this one, I just get boring. Like, it's just you knowing. It's not at that point. It's not the point where you are going to be judging yourself. Like, oh my god, I am nice now. Oh my god, very good. No, 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 no. It's just being
Mm-hmm.
aware and looking at like an observer. And I think that thing is going to take a lot of practice.
Yeah.
John Obidi has been saying a lot. Like, see, just be an observer in your own life, because when you practice that act of observing, as in even observing your own life from a third person point of view, it
Mm.
it opens you up to a lot. It makes you see a lot of things that you probably naturally not see if you are living like you are part of the story. So again, it's a skill that can be learned. It's a skill that can be practiced and perfected, where you are always in the state of mind, or in the consciousness, or in the awareness to extract yourself from what's going on. Say, okay, what just happened? Why did I get angry all of a sudden? Why am I angry? And then remove yourself from the scenario and try to think like, okay, what exactly is the cause of this? What's it
Mm.
trigger this thing right now? And it's
True.
a lot. It's a lot, but I mean, it comes with practice. There's nothing in this life that
Absolutely.
that is automatic at all. So again, when it comes to validation, yeah, we really, really need to um be weary, because you know why? When we it's like, if our the reason we feel like we are worthy is coming from without, it means that they can still make us feel unworthy easily,
Absolutely.
just like that. Because
That's
check your
true.
mouth now, like you said, now the same people that will come and hail you and say, hey, look at that. God forgive me. Let me not say it. Anyway, the same people that will hail you when they feel like, you've done something great, are the same people that will still come back and bite you and shoot you and nail you to the cross if you mess
Yeah.
up. So if
True.
you leave your validation to them, then they are in control of your life and you're no longer in control. So basically, what's our message for you today? Take back the control. 2023 is coming to an end. Take back the control. Yes, it's great to be online. Yes, it's great to be out there. We are advocates for putting yourself out there. But do it with sense. Do it with a purpose in mind.
Mm.
If you're not ready, or you're not clear about what you want to be perceived as, it is okay to take your time.
Yeah.
It is okay to stay behind the scenes. And let me tell you, there are a lot of people, you would think in this world and age, you would think that, if you're not out there, if you're not online, if you're not doing this, if you're not doing that, you're not successful, you're not making money. It's a big fat lie.
Mm-hmm.
Because the people who are like acing their success, like top
Like behind the
echelon,
scenes.
they are nowhere anywhere here. They're just underground, eh? It's like they don't exist, but they are the one chopping the whole money. So it is possible. But again, it's like for us now, it's more like we know it's not it's we could choose, actually, Grace. I don't know about you. I could choose to just go off grid completely, and I'll still be a happy person. Do you see?
Oh, oh.
But I know that too much has been given to me to keep, to withhold. And there's somebody out there that needs to hear my message, hear my story, or see me living and be inspired and get hope. And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. Yeah, you wanted to say something.
Yeah, I wanted to say, or what I would love to say is, just know who you are. I think we're going to talk. I think next week we should talk about identity and knowing who you are and what you want. You know, I was discussing with someone that before the noise came, before you started following social media or anything at all, who can you really talk to? Like your family, friends, people that really
Mm,
know you when you were a child or a baby, or while you were growing up, the things that they knew that was sticking out already. You know, so for me, I used to self analyze and I ask myself that, Grace, are you doing what you're doing now because it is the in thing, or this is what you're good at, or what? Why I used to ask myself critical questions, and very easy because trace it back to when I was a child. They will tell you that Grace is a born encourager, right from when she was a child. You know, so
yeah,
there were some things that stood out for me that was very easy for me to know that I mean I'm on the right track because when I came, my default setting before we started hearing that Grace, go and be a doctor, you are this, you are go and do this, before all those things. Now, what this would help you do, even if you are not in the profession that is um that is in line with what you think is your core.
your
So
design.
what we're
Mm,
doing, yeah, what we're doing is we're teaching. So we're teachers, but not your conventional teachers that you see.
yeah,
So what's that person that you are, or who's that person that you are, that it is you when they wake you up, it's your core, that thing that you do. You can do it in whatever profession that you are doing. Nobody is saying that being a life coach that I have to come online and be, no, my this is my office and I get to see my clients here. All I need to do is probably do a one-on-one, or move from one place to another, do physical without coming online. But online is one source of letting people
channel.
know what you are. It's a channel of
Mm,
letting
mm,
people know what you are capable of or what you are about. So it's not a bad thing at all, right? So if you know that your core is good for you behind the scenes, behind social media, my dear friend, my dear brother, by
stay
all
there.
means, go ahead. So
Yeah,
like I just said, some of these things, if you trace it, I like to learn backwards. I'll trace it backwards to see where I'm coming from and what are the things that I used to do that. And if I see that, well, a classmate just confirmed it. University, somebody that I was not really talking to, I posted out something, and that classmate said that, Grace, I always saw this about you while we were in uni. And I said,
mm,
okay, thank you. Thank you. And this is somebody that was very quiet, more of an observer, always looking. And I was not even a talk person in class. I was not the one you see, but there are some things that would make you stand out.
and
That,
out. Mm.
when people start seeing you doing things, they won't be shocked.
You will be
They'll be like,
shocked. Yeah,
this thing don't date
you
there.
always
But when
know. It
you're
has always
forcing
been in your
yourself,
body.
it don't say this thing don't get your body. So when you're forcing yourself because of social media, you'll be frustrated.
Yes,
You will be
yes,
super frustrated. Even if you are seeing money in that thing, you frustration will want to finish you. So
yes. I
simply
think
put, I think
it's the reason. Yeah, it's
it's
the
a good
reason.
way to wrap up
Even
from my end.
celebs. Yeah, it's the reason why celebs, still, you just hear that they've ended up, maybe going into drugs or what this thing or suicide or depression. It's because of it. Because again, the acting in itself is probably their talent, but then there are things that comes with it that
Mm,
they went over. So, for example, there are actors and there are actors. Look,
of
check out
course.
somebody like Denzel. he
Yeah.
he maintained his stand anytime, any day. You don't
his
see him in
character
all the
his
movies.
character is
Yes,
seen in his even if
yes,
he's playing the bad guy, you see
it's
something
still
about
about him. Like there's just something you will know. Hey, this one is different. This one is different, right? Again, so they are not living for the valid for the validation. For those who are, it takes away something. It takes away your peace. It takes away your joy. Please, those things are too priceless. Like you can't buy joy. You can't buy peace of mind, but you have the power to generate it. you know,
Mm.
when you focus on the things that you need to focus on. Yeah, and I really do hope that, the conversation today has been helpful for anyone who joined, or who's going to watch this later on. Again, for us, this is more of an assignment that we feel we just owe it to whoever is going to see this 1 year from now, 2 years from now, 10 years from now, and get some value from it or get some direction from it. And that's because we believe that to whom much is given, much is expected. And we have been through a lot, and we're
Mhm.
still going through them and coming out and overcoming. And this is the
Absolutely.
list. Yeah, this is the list that we can do to share from our, wealth of knowledge and experience, to help somebody out there. Again, this is the energetic EJ, and it's been a pleasure chatting with you guys today.
Yeah. My pleasure. This is great. So amazing. So happy to be here. And I'm hoping to see you guys next week so that we can have something equally interesting. And remember, your voice is a channel that you can use to create impact. And I think we're doing that. And I hope you find your own voice so that you can start creating impact where you are
Absolutely.
and the tool that you have.
Absolutely. So next week we're talking about identity. Don't forget, we're going to create awareness before next week by God's grace. Okay. We're talking about
Yeah.
identity next week. So if you have questions around that as well, you can send to either of us. You can follow us on social media. I am energetic EJ across. You can look for energetic EJ. You should find me. If you don't, look for EJ Rosakede. You find me.
I'm also very so amazing on social media on Instagram. So once you just put Grace so amazing, you see it, and you never know. I could just put my name or Grace Debo, it'll pop up.
All righty. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you next week. Bye.
Bye.